escalation right now. Why does Palmer hate Halsey so much? Halsey is sort of like everything Palmer hates about scientists. She's the most intelligent. First off, she's the most intelligent human alive. Yeah, she's the most intelligent human alive. She's done extremely questionable things with the Spartan 2 program. And as Palmer says, she was locked up for a reason, so she does not trust her in the slightest, which ends up proving her bias right when Halsey decides to side with Julon Dama. And have you been following Hunt the Truth? Yes, I have. I've listened to all of them. All of the ones in Season 1. I'd imagine Season 2 is going to start in such a way that the season finale of Season 2 will happen on the Sunday right before Halo 5 comes out. Yeah, he's most likely to kill. I don't imagine he'd survive what happened in Hunt the Truth.
Roger that, Cortana. I'll give you the coordinates. Mayday! Mayday! Code red! Hostile elements attempting to gain entrance to the Infinity Bridge. They're outside the hatch! Doors breached! Doors breached! All units return to Infinity immediately. That's an order. Chief,
what do you think about Oni as a whole? They undoubtedly have humanity's best intentions at heart. However, they're willing to take any moral and ethical shortcut to achieve that. To achieve the protection and safeguard of humanity. And if it means screwing with humans in general. Back during...
Weapons free, Chief.
Back during the insurrection, that was, their actions I guess were a bit more understandable, specifically with the Spartan 2 program, mainly because Halsey herself justified it in an acceptable way. The Truth sort of frames the Spartan 2 project as having people who didn't care about what was going on. That's not true. The people did care about what they were doing and knew it was incredibly awful. The reason why they did it was because of the Carver findings, because they didn't want humanity to literally rip itself apart. But other than that, Oni's actions in the post-war sort of reveal that they've always been sort of do whatever is necessary. Not afraid to take the most extreme option. The wreckage we see here appears to be pretty extensive, and you'd imagine that that Infinity is like falling apart, and in later cutscenes we obviously see that's not the case. That's because Infinity is just massive. It's 3.5 miles long. What we're seeing of the wreckage right here is just scratches, for how big it is. And I killed that warthog. Fun. Logic. Julon Dama hates us. Stella's our friend. Let's sell jewel guns. That's actually not what happened. Oni actually... Julim Dama forming a covenant and despising humanity is actually Oni's fault. They weren't selling guns to Julim Dama, they were selling guns to, oh god, I can't believe I forget his name. Oh yeah, they were selling guns to Med Avu Telkum, who was the leader of the Servants of Abiding Truth, which were Sangheili monks who were quite unafraid of violence. But in the process of doing that, Oni ended up kidnapping Julim Dama. Then when Julim Dama escaped from their captivity, he found out what they've been what Oni has been doing, and the fact that Oni is, well, not Oni in general, but basically humanity killed his wife. That pissed him off. And thankfully, though, 343 has saved him from being a really one-dimensional character. From just, you killed my wife, therefore I hate all of you. You know, it's understandable considering he didn't even like humanity to begin with, but he's not just, I hate you, one-dimensional, because 343 paired him with Dr. Halsey, which is an awesome relationship. And I very much suspect that it's going to make Jewel rethink his stance on humanity in the future. I actually suspect that Jewel might not be an antagonist for very much longer, as even in Halo 5 we know that he's losing control over his Covenant. Of course, Oni might want retribution for the atrocities that Julim Dama has committed against humanity. So we'll see how that turns out.
Master Chief, this is Captain Del Rio. Lasky just radioed. You picked a hell of a time to rejoin us.
Sir, what's our status?
So, fun fact,
the ship's defenses and is extracting data from the ship's
just to give you an
mainframe
idea for
as
how
we
big
speak.
Infinity is,
Can we break the connection?
the section of the ship that, when we're inside the ship, the section we go through in the mission we're on right now, are the part of the Infinity's maintenance hallways. So these giant chasmous hallways and rooms are a part of, you know, maintenance. Which is pretty effing crazy. You don't even see Infinity's recreational areas or anything. I mean, we see them in Escalation a bit, but yeah. 17,000 people is a lot for one ship.
The hatch to the maintenance causeway is jammed.
So now I've got the Mantis, so I might as well talk a bit about the Mantis' history. Mantis is its official name is the Grunting Yggdrasil. Gosh, I'm not pronouncing that right. I remember my friend corrected me in college. I can't believe I'm failing to pronounce it. Maybe it is, I don't know, whatever. It's the Grunting Yggdrasil, Mark 9, which means that there was 8 other iterations of the Mantis. The first of which, the first iteration we know of actually, the first was actually displayed in the Halo Legends episode, the prototype. It stayed, that state, obviously it's incredibly destructive, arguably more so than what, you know, the current iteration of the Mantis right now. Oh, he was on the ground. But they had their reasons for not moving it on past the prototype phase. Mantis nicknamed the Mantis either because of its stalking legs, Or because, oh gosh, I forget what the name of the maneuver was. It was like some guy's name. It was like Chernbov, whatever. Something run during the Covenant's invasion and attack on Meridian. The Mantis, one Mantis piloted by a guy was able to go and just non-stop destroy all these Mantis anti-aircraft guns, and the Mantis anti-aircraft gun is the anti-aircraft gun we see the Covenant using in Halo 3 in the level of the Storm. Yeah, I find you guys might have noticed that Mantis got its name from what people did with it on Meridian. You guys might remember Meridian from the Game Informer article on Halo 5. Meridian seems to have gotten a lot of importance in the Halo lore. You know that it was extremely important to the Foreigners in some way, especially due to the fact that the Covenant found a luminary on it, which is how they found the location of Earth, or at least how the Prophet of Regret did.
Chief Islasky, come in.
Go, Commander.
We've identified several Covenant jamming devices on the outer hull.
That might be how they're blocking the Infinity's defenses.
Exactly what we were thinking. Neutralize them so we can get our guns back online and show that satellite we're more than just a big paperweight.
We're on it, Commander. Cortana out.
So the Didact is still scanning through Infinity's system, absorbing as much information about the current state of the galaxy as he can,
Shoot them down.
and looking for anything about the Composer. The Didact, as we know, is obviously an extremely strict adherent to the Mantle, taking a really conservative approach to what the Mantle means. His extremely conservative approach to the Mantle was heavily distorted
First jammer disabled.
by the Gravemind,
Two.
to the point where, well, he
That's it. Jammer
as we
neutralized.
obviously he thinks it's okay under the Mantle to compose humanity. His reasoning behind this is that he wasn't killing humanity, he was repurposing them so they weren't a threat to the Mantle anymore. It made them protectors of the Mantle in a way. Obviously it's highly skewed and just mental gymnastics. Believe that that's acceptable within the constraints of the Mantle. It wasn't just humanity the Didact wanted to do this with. It was any other species that proved problematic for the Foreigners. The Didact really saw the Foreigners and the Mantle as sort of one and the same. Like it wasn't, and they couldn't be separated. Like the Foreigners were the only worthy masters of the Mantle.
The Didact's not letting go without a fight.
Infinity has an its whole is covered with an extremely extensive defense network of MAC guns, missile launchers, point defense turrets, and missile pods. You can see how effective the sheer size of its defense system is, with the fact that it's able to take out these CRS class light cruisers.